Hey guys, Monday, April 20th. Got in the creek this weekend and I guess for about an hour and a half or so, and came out with some fairly interesting pieces. Anyway, we have Easter weekend, last weekend, we had a tremendous amount of rain and it really flushed that fish dam and kind of cut some new channels through it and exposed some new materials and new artifacts. So I thought I'd go over with you what I got. Let's start up here with this, I believe to be a really big axe head. Anyway, this was a big piece I found. I just kind of saw this back end sticking up out of the sand, and when I pulled it, kept pulling it, and this whole thing came up. But I've got a couple pieces here that I found in the past, and I thought I would just show them to you that this was kind of a common design for these type of tools or axe heads. Here's one that I found a while back, but almost identical. These are made, both of these are made of quartzite, but anyway, I thought I would show them to you. And I believe them to be some kind of axe heads. I think maybe they could have been inserted in a stick, a big stick on these ends here. Also could have been hafted. Here's another one that's made out of granite. That's very similar, same kind of design, same kind of head on it. As you can see, very similar. And this was one I found this weekend also, quartzite. And this is one I found a while back, but the similar kind of, it's a very similar kind of design on these heads. This is either a celt or an axe head. I'm not real sure. It's really been tapered off into this really beveled point here, but a little bit worn, but that stone has been all pecked and polished completely all the way around that stone. And it was either a celt or what I'd call a hand chisel, or maybe a hafted tool possibly. You don't have to have groove marks in order to haft these tools. They did them in a lot of different ways. They would have Y-shaped sticks like that, and they would stick stones in between them and then actually pull the sticks back together and to bind the head in the sticks. And I think this was a hafted piece also. I think this was more like a Warren axe. You can see all the pecking marks on it, but doesn't have any wear on it hardly at all, and that's one of the things I look at. It's been worked off in the back a little bit here, but pretty piece. So they would have hafted this tool like this, and it was probably, like I said, used as a Warren axe. Really hard, dense stone, been polished. And this gets to what I call a duck head. These duck head or bird head type tools here. That this one I think was used for polishing. I think they would just lay your finger up in here and just polish other tools, other stones with it. That one's kind of worn. It's been around a while. Not my best piece that I've got, but I'm not sure all the duck head tools that I've got, and I got a ton of them. I don't know if they were all used for, I'm not sure what they were all used for. Some of them I think were used for other things other than polishing. Here's a really old chopping stone that I found. This thing's made out of mostly quartz, but I put a little bit of oil on it just to kind of bring out all the pecking marks on this thing. And show you where this thing has really been worked all around this tool. But it's a really pretty stone. This is an old stone. I think this tool's been around a long time. I don't know what period it came from, but pretty's got a little stripe of quartz running through it. But it'd be held like this, and that would be the chopping edge right there. Pretty stone though, really pretty. You just chop up grains and nuts with it. Here's another chopping stone. It's kind of a dual material. Really pretty. It's got garnets in it. You can see where the garnets are. That's going to be the chopping edge right here. But it's a really pretty stone too. Like I say, it's got this dual material. It's been polished, smoothed off all the way around, worked. And they would put their finger here, lay the other top part of their finger on the top right there, and they would just use it like that to chop. It's grooved out right in there a little bit. But that's what that tool was used for. See, it's pretty. It's all been pecked out. You can see the pecking marks there. Create that edge on it. And here's a really larger stone. It's kind of a multi-purpose stone, but this thing here was really used. You can see the edges on this thing that are just really worn. And this is actually, I think, primarily was used as a chopping stone too. You can see how they chipped off the top there. And all this dark area and all running through here and on the top and all is oils from the hand. And from holding it for a long period of time and using it. But they would lay their finger right up here on the top, and you can see that edge is just really taken off there from use. They would just chop with it. Pretty neat stone. Could have used this side. This is really smooth. They could have used that maybe for polishing. I know they used it for hammering too on the tip. All taken off on that tip like that, so it was probably a multi-purpose type tool. Old stone, been around a while, been worked quite a bit. And actually I think this is a scraper, some type of scraping piece here. It's made out of that black stone, really highly dense crystalline type material, real super thin. So I think they use this as some kind of a scraping tool. The top is a little bit heavier, a little thicker. That's all been smoothed and worked, polished on that top there. But I believe it was some kind of scraper, some kind of big one. Love that material. Every time I see that black stone, I got to pick it up. And here's 3 pecking stones that I picked up. Just small pecking stones. That's quartz or quartzite. I mean, just a little small pecking stone. And actually, I think this might be something like a seed plant. I don't think that's actually a pecking stone. But you can see all the pecking marks on this thing where they really worked this stone. And I don't really know why they would really polish certain edges of these things and other edges not. I don't think that's a break. I'm pretty sure, I know it's not actually, but all these edges here polished, that edge is polished, this edge is polished. I guess they would hold it like this, or like that. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it could be a seed planter on that one. The tip's just not worn enough, and it's not the kind of tip that you would see in a pecking stone. This one is a pecking stone. You see where it's notched out at the top. that black stone. Really worn on the tip there. So they just put their finger right in that little grooved out notch there, and just and use it to peck on other tools. It's pretty. So every time I see that black stone, I gotta pick it up because it's usually been worked. Here's a little scraper or hide conditioner. See where they work the top and the sides off of it. Try to get this thing focusing because I'm moving it too much, but has a hard time with this black stone. Once I can get it to focus, you can see how pretty it is. Another scraper. Black stone. It's another scraper out of black stone. Actually be held like that. Really sharp edge on it. It's kind of hard to see. Might have been a little used also. Maybe it was a little bit of a knife, but that's a really sharp edge. It's kind of hard to see it. I can't really kind of get it in a way that you can see that edge, but it's sharp. Another scraper, black stone. That one's really sharp. It's a beautiful stone. And this actually is a black stone polishing stone here. This is not a scraper, but this is a polishing stone. This is all the polishing surface right through here. Right up in here. See if I can get it in focus again. Can't move this stuff too quick, or on this black stone it really messes the camera up. But anyway, that was used to polish. And this actually is another polishing stone. It's dual material. But this is a polishing edge right here. Real pretty. It's got quartz running through it. Thumb would set right in here. And this is a duck head type polishing stone. It's just completely polished off all the way around this stone. It's really interesting looking. I'm not 100% sure how they held this thing. Real dense stone, polished all the way around on this thing. It almost looks like it's kind of dual material too. I'm not so sure if they didn't hold it kind of like this, but I'm not sure. It's just pretty neat looking. Anyway, that's what I got today. Hope you guys are doing well. Appreciate you guys tuning in on my site, and any kind of feedback, I'd love to have it. And Anyway, hope you guys have a good week coming up. Get back in the creek again, see what I can come up with. Appreciate it.